Joyce, what is this?
It's one of these.
I found this hanging on the wall in outpatients.
Yes, it's a customer's charter.
A what?
Well, it's been decided by upstairs that the hospital should make a public declaration to our customers affirming their rights.
Customers? I don't have customers. I have patients. I stitch up their hernias. I do not sell them half-pound of broccoli.
Upstairs thought it'd be more customer-friendly to call them customers and to set out their rights.
They don't have rights. They have gallstones. Surgery is not a God-given right. It's a me-given privilege.
Yes, but upstairs thought that a customer relations exercise would ease customer throughput.
Customer throughput? Are we talking centipods here?
No, it's the number of customers we put through.
Bin it.
Bin it?
This is an insult to the intelligence of the patients and the professionalism of the staff. Bin it.
But we've just had them specially printed and framed. We can't bin it.
Oh, yes, you can.
Why?
Well, for a start, there are 2 M's in committed and just 1 M in incompetence.
Joyce, can I have a private word?
Yes, of course.
Do you mind?
You're going to talk about me, aren't you?
Yes.
Then I think I have the right to remain. It probably says so in Joyce's greengrocer's charter.
What's she on about?
Oh, nothing.
All right. Joyce, I think it'd be a good idea if I no longer gas Mrs. Sabatini's patients.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm quite happy to work with Neil. I'll even do George's ENT list at a pinch. But someone else is going to have to knock out Mrs. Sabatini's patients before she ties their guts in knots and tears out their hearts and stamps on all their hopes and dreams.
What is all this about? No, let me rephrase that. I'll leave you two alone for a minute.
Yes?
Oh, come on. Under the circumstances, we can't go on working together.
Why not?
Oh, for goodness sake, it was bad enough when people found out we were an item. Now they know we've split up and you're shacking up with your Spanish onion.
Are you being racist?
I have nothing against onions.
But you do have some problem with my private life.
I wouldn't have if it was private, but it's public. Everybody knows. Don't stare at me like that. How can I work with you after what you've done? Oh, today it's Paco. Tomorrow who? What? Anything in trousers? Look.
So you don't want to work with me? What do you suggest? That I should ask Gordon to anaesthetise my patients?
Yes.
Over their dead bodies.
Gordon is a perfectly competent anaesthetist.
So is a gorilla with a baseball bat. No. I have a duty to my patients, and you are the best gas man at the Gillies. That is why I want you to work with me.
There's no need to shout.
There's no need to shout.
I am not shouting.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Joyce!
I'm here.
Joyce, in future, Dr. Haslam will not be the anaesthetist on my operating lists.
You don't want him to?
Yes, I do want him to, but... Well, just now, I can't stand the hassle.
OK, who then? Gordon?
Yes, Gordon, unless you've got the phone number of the ape house at Chessington Zoo.
I haven't, actually.
Oh, really? Then who typed up your customer's charter?
All right, then, I'll reorganise the lists.
Normally I'd say chin up, Joyce, but that just makes it easier for her to go for the jugular.
Not often you get the last word.
What happened?
Charles, get that off to Kath, will you?
Oh, look at the size of that.
Unusual, too. It's not often you see a gallstone that's shaped like Esther Ranson.
Oh, you do? We get hundreds.
What's going on?
We were just commenting on the odd shape of this stone.
Charles, I would like the result of that pathology report sometime before this patient gets her telegram from the Queen.
On its way.
Gordon, my customer on the table seems to be getting a little tense. Could you please ensure that she is at least as relaxed as you are?
I'm sorry. Haven't you clamped those forceps a bit close to the common bile duct, Mrs. Sabatini? The common bile duct!
Oh, for heaven's sake, why didn't you say something?
Well, I did try to say something, but it seems okay, doesn't it? No harm done. I said no harm done, okay?
Take over here, will you, John?
What?
Take over.
Jonathan, I understand you won't be doing Sheila's lists anymore.
Not for the foreseeable future, which, according to Professor Stephen Hawking, will be quite some time.
Yes. Must be very difficult for you just now.
What must be difficult?
Well, life.
I'm fine.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Swab, please. Still, must have been quite a blow getting dumped by Sabatini. Actually, I was amazed when you moved in with her in the first place. Everyone was.
Okay. That episode is closed.
we did laugh. Oh dear. Not in front of you, of course. Didn't want to hurt your feelings.
You're all heart, aren't you?
What's it like living with Joyce?
I am not living with Joyce. I'm staying with Joyce and her husband and her family and her sofa.
Yes. I'd ask you round to sponge off us for a couple of nights.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
But the kids have found the Nintendo. I don't think you'd find it a particularly restful atmosphere. Still, what about tea sometime? This Saturday, say 4:30 till 4:55?
Well, I'd love to, Neil, but unfortunately I've got this very urgent train spotting engagement in Didcot.
Lord, never had you down as a train spotter.
No, well, I had this perfectly good anorak going to waste.
Still, long as you're happy.
Couldn't be happier.
Oh, Sheila, about next week.
What?
It's about Theatre One being closed for refurbishment as from Monday. Now, upstairs have decided they're very keen not to lose our present customer throughput rate. So that means that your Tuesday list will move to Theatre Two, but on Wednesday morning from 6 till 10, while Giles takes your early Wednesday ward round. Then your Thursday list, not
Joyce,
on...
I can't quite take all this in at the moment.
Well, if you just agree in principle...
Let me have it in writing, and then maybe I'll see what you're talking about. Don't run in the corridors!
I wasn't going to.
Bye, Mum.
Is it important? I'm sorry, I do not have any condoms.
But Sheila, there's just one thing
In writing, Joyce. Get one of your infinite number of monkeys to type it up.
I'm a bit strapped.
Stop waving your wallet. I do not give to one-parent family charities.
Well, you're the fund-holding doctor. Anyway, I promised to take Rachel out tonight for a Chinese.
Look, it's only for a couple of weeks, and if we're to upkeep
Look,
our throughput
whatever it
rate-
is you're both talking about, the answer is no and no. Don't you have a lecture to go to, or a practical, or a drunken binge?
Well, yeah, but they're not open yet.
Look, I just need you to initial the agreement. in
Please,
principle.
please. Not now. Will you both, please? Just leave me alone.
Mum!
Leave me alone!
Good Lord, at the time. I'll get it. Ask them to put the call through. Saudi Arabian nasal polyps. Excuse me, Sheila. Saudi Arabian, Sheila. Private polyps. Move, you silly woman!
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lord.
George, what's up? England lose the toss?
I've just upset Sabatini.
Oh, I thought it was something important.
Really upset her. She wept.
You made Sabatini cry?
She just burst into tears.
Congratulations, how's it done?
Oh, Lord, what am I going to do?
Oh, you must write it up for the Lancet.
Mr. Hope-Wind's upset Mrs. Sabatini. She's in a bit of a state.
Where is she?
She's in there.
What have you done to her?
Well, I'm afraid I'd lost my rag for a moment and I called her silly.
You just said you're silly.
No, I called her a silly woman.
That'll do it.
Oh, Lord, I hate it when women cry. Do you know, I've only seen Grace cry once.
No, they soon get over it.
Yes, Grace did, and the rest of the honeymoon was fine.
Well, look, we can't all just stand around here doing nothing.
No, quite, I must get changed.
You can't just leave her. She's in there and she's really upset. You're her friends. All right. You're her colleagues. Doesn't that mean anything? All right, we're supposed to be in a caring profession. What would you do if she was in there with a broken leg?
It's times like this I wish I were a vet.
Well, I'm going in.
I beg your pardon. I am her best friend.
There's no getting away from it. I'm to blame for this.
Well, in you go, George.
Oh, Lord.
Come on, Sheila, have a good blow.
Why is she like this?
Oh, Lord, I perhaps was a little brusque with her, but for which I apologise, I really do. I didn't mean to... I'm so sorry, Sheila. Sheila? Sheila, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Sheila?
Oh, my God, she's gone deaf.
Come with me.
Oh, now that is the bloody limit!
Tell you the truth, George, I've been under a lot of stress. Then I've been feeling pretty rough lately. Then my ears weren't funny, and they got worse so quickly I could hardly hear a thing. I'd just about been getting by, trying to lip read. But today in theatre, with everyone wearing masks, I was useless.
Yes, you would be.
What's going on, George? I mean, it's nothing serious, is it? Obviously not. Is it?
Let's find out, shall we?
Joyce, I've just heard about Mum. What's wrong with her?
Well, Daniel, it seems your mother's lost her hearing.
Oh, my God.
Now, you're not to worry. She's in the ENT department with Mr. Hope Wynne.
Oh, my God.
It's very good.
That's not too bad, was it? May I? This may help you to hear me a little better. These things do have their uses.
Get on with it, George.
What's happened is your eustachian tubes have become blocked, and that's bunged up your middle ear on both sides. The deafness is temporary, and there's absolutely no sign of anything sinister going on.
I knew it was nothing serious. Of course I did. Can't imagine what you've been making such a fuss about. Silly man. Thank you, George.
Mum? Are you all right? Now, he's not going to operate.
Daniel,
is he?
how dare you burst in on a private consultation?
Under the circumstances...
George, I am not a public exhibit.
I was worried about you.
Daniel, your mother has a temporary middle ear deafness. And these should clear it up in a few days. Take this to pharmacy, and I'd like to see her again in, say, 3 days to check on her progress.
I am still here, you know.
Indeed you are. But I think you should take at least a week off.
Weak, but I've got patients.
Private patients?
No, but...
Oh, in that case, Giles can help us all.
Giles, I wouldn't trust him to take out my appendix.
I would.
Rubbish, George. You go to your man in Harley Street.
Yes, but it's your appendix we're talking about.
Mum, Giles is good. After all, you taught him everything he knows.
Well, I suppose there is that.
And you must rest. Doctor's orders.
For once, George, I think you may be right.
Well, I expect you two would like to be alone for a moment. I know I would.
Well, what's he prescribed here, then? 1 ear trumpet, 1 sign saying speak up, 1 little old lady costume.
Daniel.
Hey, what do you call a surgeon who's deaf?
I don't know.
Anything you like.
Daniel, I am appalled. Not at your insolence, but at your lack of taste.
Ground control to mothership. Come in, please.
Oh, stop it!
I'm sorry, I was trying to cheer you up. You okay?
You're going to be mawkish.
I thought it might be permanent. Auditory nerve, those little hair cells, even a tumour. I was scared.
So was I.
Let's get you home.
Daniel, if I am going to take it easy, you know you're going to have to do the shopping and the cleaning and the laundry.
The laundry?
Yes, I hate to shatter your illusions, but there is no underpants fairy. You're going to have to pull your weight from now on.
Mum, I want you to know
Yes?
I'll need some money for the groceries.
Ooh, how can you think of a thing like that at a time like this?
About 40 or 50 quid should do it.
Sweet boy. Unfortunately, I haven't got my handbag with me.
Oh, that's okay. I nipped back to the changing room and got it for you.
Not now, Jonathan.
OK. How about now? Joyce, I know you're under pressure from upstairs, but my workload is becoming ridiculous. How do they expect us to cope?
We can't hope to live up to our customers' charter without increasing our throughput rate. Thank heaven for Mr. Lecoq.
Who's Mr. Lecoq?
He's a patient of Mr. Copeland's with chronic nausea. Turned out to be an inner ear problem, so he was referred to Mr. Hope Wynne. So that's one customer to Mr. Copeland and one to Mr. Hope Wynne.
Wait a minute, you can't count the same person twice.
Mr. Lecoq may be one person, but he counts as two customers.
Well, that is less than honest.
Well, everyone else is doing it, and I wish the surgical staff would realise that and give me a little cooperation. I asked Mr. Hope Wynne to refer Mr. Lecoq to Mr. Mukherjee to get the hat trick. Do you know, he refused.
Mr. Mukherjee's a gynecologist.
Nevertheless,
Believe this?
it's a matter of principle.
Well, if you're so hot on principles, how about an anaesthetist charter? Or don't we have rights? Like time off to sleep and eat and go to the lavatory?
I think you're talking about privileges. Anyway, I'm sure your workload will ease when we get back to normal.
What, you mean when Sheila comes back? You call that normal?
And, Jonathan, you have to understand that I can only make this rota work to maximise customer throughput if you... Well, if you agree to work with her again.
Look, I am sorry she's been ill. I'm sorry she's coming back, and I'm sorry, but I will not work with her.
Well, I'm sorry too, because there's nothing I can do to help.
Fine. That doesn't matter anyway. And I'm sure you won't have this trouble with my replacement.
Replacement? What replacement?
Well, it's impossible for me to carry on here. Seeing her every day, Copeland sniggering behind my back, sleeping on your sofa, sumptuous though it is.
You can't leave.
There's a post on offer at Christchurch Memorial Hospital.
Christchurch? Down in Dorset?
No, down in New Zealand.
New Zealand? You'd be bored to death. A friend of mine said the whole country's half asleep.
Well, that'll make my job easier, won't it?
Oh, please, Jonathan, think again.
I have thought again. And again, and again, and again.
And?
And again. Thought you were supposed to be off.
What?
You're not due back until Monday.
Well, I've been catching up with some casework. I am still compos mentis.
What do you mean, still?
Joyce, I've got a few things to go through with you, not least to insist that Dr. Haslam does my anaesthetics when I come back.
He won't. He's threatening to leave.
What?
It's a career move. I'd be a professor. I realise that if I spend the rest of my life here, I'd become an inferior second-rater.
I see. And why do you want to be an interior decorator?
Don't! I didn't say
He's
that.
going to New Zealand.
Well, of course he's going to do ceilings and skirting boards and dados and wainscots and whatever else it is they do. Well, why leave this for that?
I have to go because here, where everybody knows my business, I'm finding it very hard to deal with work pressure, peer group persecution and... Yes, all right, I'll say it. Coping with emotional loss.
Well, I'd be surprised if you could cope with emotion and loss.
And that's final!
And that final.
You're doing this on purpose.
Doing what?
Deliberately misunderstanding me.
Jonathan, I have never understood you.
Look, I am very confused.
That I understand.
I can't go on like this, and that's why I'm looking for a job somewhere else.
You're being ridiculous.
In New Zealand.
I can't believe they have interior decorators in New Zealand.
As a professor at Christchurch Memorial Hospital.
Have you gone raving mad?
No, but it's beginning to look very attractive. At least I get care in the community.
Jonathan, are you seriously going to throw away your career prospects at the Gillies just because of our little fling?
Oh! A little fling, was it? I see. A convenient bit on the side. And then along comes some bullfighter, rattles his castanets at you, and it's ole Paco, and on your bike, Jonathan.
That is...
I am not a sex object. I deserve some respect.
Jonathan Haslam, if you want to earn my respect, you will turn up in my operating theatre on Monday morning and do the job you're paid to do.
Look.
And stop behaving like a bimbo on steroids.
Roll on the weekend.
Afraid so.
What? Oh, of course. She's back on Monday. Yes. You've rather enjoyed being in charge this week, haven't you?
Yes, it's been wonderful.
Yes. I've never really understood the attractions of responsibility. To be perfectly honest, half the people in my operating theatre are only there to take the blame when something goes wrong.
Oh, Giles, that hemorrhoidectomy on your list this afternoon. It's taking up valuable theatre time.
Joyce, that man has been waiting for weeks to have his piles taken away.
I know, but couldn't you just inject them instead? Much quicker, and then you could squeeze in a couple of cysts.
No. If I remove them, he'll be cured. If I just inject them and then send him away, they'll probably come back and then we'll have to bring him in and do the op anyway.
Nothing wrong with the double throughput.
Joyce, I am not about to compromise my professional integrity.
Just wait till Mrs. Sabatini gets back.
Monday.
Oh, Mrs. Sabatini's patient.
You mean customer?
Well, this is one customer who might not get served. We're still waiting for Dr. Haslam.
Hasn't he come in?
No one's seen him. Joyce says he didn't stay with her last night. They had a big bust-up.
I just saw him in the car park.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
Yeah. Do you think I should go and wake him up? He was asleep in his car.
He spent the night in the car park.
Looks like it.
You sure he was just sleeping? I mean, he's been very upset lately. He wasn't...
No, I don't think suicides suck their thumbs.
I'll get the gate porter to check him out.
Loud before the storm.
Today is the day.
Must you?
She's back. Mind you, I don't know if she'll be doing anything. Apparently Jonathan's gone AWOL.
Can you blame him?
Absolutely not. Oh, here, have mine. No, if I were he, I'd have gone completely gaga.
Well, I think he's heading in that direction. I had a long talk to Grace about it over the weekend.
Oh, yes. What did she say?
Nothing. She wasn't listening. She doesn't care for gossip.
Speaking of Joyce, is it true she's kicked him out?
Really? Well, I had heard she was very cross with him. Big row about him and Sabatini.
Speaking of which, and I use the word which advisedly, 3 minutes and counting.
God help us, everyone.
I suppose she is quite fit, is she?
You mean she might have been weakened by her ordeal?
She'll be fine. My course of treatment will have cleared her ears up by now.
Yes, you couldn't find any pills that took a bit longer, like a year or two.
I heard that.
Ah, welcome back. We did miss you.
Neil's sentiment is mutual, and that makes both of us lying toads.
I must say, it's good to see the treatment's worked.
Pardon?
Good Lord.
It's a joke, George. I'm very grateful. Giles, I hear you've been doing a very good job in my absence.
Well, thank you.
And I look forward to the day that you do a very good job in my presence. Where's Dr. Haslam?
No one's seen him.
Well, this is ridiculous. My list is due to start now, and surprising though it may seem, I prefer not to operate on patients who are still conscious. Apparently some sort of right they have. Oh, God, look at the state of that. How good of you to turn up. Now, we have a very long list this morning, and I would appreciate it if you could stay awake slightly longer than the patients. You are going to be doing my list, aren't you?
Jill, I can't speak.
Oh, my God, he's lost his voice.
Jonathan, come with me.